This is strength, re-embracing protection, re-embracing, initiating relationships. I force my kids, I don't do this anymore because they've had enough of it, but when we left the house, I used to say, I'm not going to let them back in unless they talk to a stranger. And It was easy for one of them. It was.
I knew dude was a weirdo. Who is going to lock their kids outside of their house until they talk to one stranger? And then people like him then have the nerve to say guys are depressed. Guys have anxiety so much to where they take their own lives. They can't live the life that they want to live, but yet when my kids are growing up, I would lock the door and force them to talk to strangers. So if I done said it once, I must say it again. If individuals, if men, if you're watching, if you are looking to politicians to learn how to become a man or become a better man, you're going to lose. Like, that is the beginning of the end for you. And I've said it, I done said it before, like, politicians are not here to be a role model for everyday living. Like, we have plenty of people we can look to, past, present, and of people that can be a role model for men. But at least to me, in my perspective, politicians are there to govern, create laws, get statistics, feedback from the American people, and do accordingly to those numbers. Like, I know that's a broad, general perspective of it, but nowhere in there are they paid to be a role model for men to look up to and say, that's how you become a man. That's how you take care of your family. Now, of course, there's politicians that might do that outside of politics. Okay, cool. But for them to get on a national stage and preach to you on how to be a man, like, they're not going to do that. And if they're doing that, trust me, they are scamming you. I guarantee you they have some sort of Bitcoin also that they want to sell you. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I don't really dive into the whole manosphere of, like, how to be a man and a real man does this and a real man does that. To me, that's just a bunch of BS talk that I am too busy to get into. But once it starts to cross the line of politics and Democrats and Republicans and blaming this and this, that's where I have to step in. That's where it's like some BS, and now I have to address it, and here's a quick statistics for you, because it is an issue. Okay. In 2022, the suicide rate amongst males in the United States was approximately 4 times higher than that amongst females. Males constitute nearly 80% of all suicides, despite making up about 50% of the population. So is it real issues that men deal with? Yes. Is it a real conversation that needs to be had when it comes to men and mental health? Of course. But looking to Republicans or Democrats, is that a solution? No. That will literally make the situation worse. But let's go ahead and hear what Theo Von has to say.
It feels a lot of times like there's an attack on being a man.
100%.
You're like, if you feel like these days, if you're a kid that's not bi, then you're not even going to be welcome at school.
No,
and I don't.
Right off the bat, I just started the video, and when I first seen this in real time, I literally scratched my head within 13 seconds. Like, what are we doing here? Guys, hey, can we do better? First he said there's an attack on men. Okay, let's have that conversation. Then he switched it to boys in school. Well, last time I checked, a boy is not a man. that's a different learning experience, life being lived. Like, that's different, okay? But then listen to how he catches himself, and I wish he would have just stopped right there, but he doesn't.
If you're a kid that's not bi, then you're not even going to be welcome at school.
No,
you know, and I don't know if that's true. I don't talk to kids. I don't know that, but it's like, you get this feeling sometimes like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, you're right. You don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? First off, if you're going to make analysis like that, at least have some data to back it up. Maybe you don't have to talk to kids and figure out their their lived experience to understand there's organizations that have done that. Do some reading. Do a little research. Actually bring on guests onto your podcast that might know what they're talking about in that area.
Well, to your point, did you have the Presidential Fitness Awards when you were in?
Yeah.
I got badge 1, you got a number on. I got badge 1, badge 2, and I had a growth spurt and I couldn't do the pull-ups. And I trained for a year, pull-ups, and I got strong again. And now the awards were done away with because it was sauce fat shaming. So, and if you walk down the halls of NYU, you're going to see all these support groups for women.
Yeah.
Black women in consulting, Golden Seeds, women in venture capital. There are no support groups for men.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing that bugs me. Okay, like, you cannot sit here and say that we need to have a conversation. We need to bring awareness to X, Y, and Z. For this conversation, to men's mental health, because this is an issue. There's an attack on men. Okay, got you. You got my attention. And then proceed to sit here and say, oh, but they have this for black women, and they have this for women, and they have this for this. What does that have to do with supporting your claims that we need to focus attention on men? Don't sit here and try to finger point at other organizations. Say, hey, we need organizations like this and X, Y, and Z. But don't sit here and make it seem like it's just an overabundance of women support groups and women organizations that help them with their various issues, and make it seem like we're against those organizations. Like, oh, they're taking up all the room, I guess, for men to have their own. It's like, what is the point of that? Why even bring that up? But what you're trying to do is make a contrast, like it's us versus them type of thing. And no, that's literally, you're falling for the trap. It's not us versus them. If anything, hey, guess what? You're human, I'm human. We go through similar stresses, anxiety. We need help. That's simple. But to be as stupid as he is to sit here, oh, but they have these women groups and this, but no men groups. Okay. Is that a shame on them or something? Is that bad for them? I don't understand your point for that. But let's continue.
And I don't think men have a place in our political world. I think the far right is kind of telling men to be, quite frankly, a little bit coarse and cruel. It's toughness and strength gone a little bit overboard. But on the far left, their definition of masculinity and their advice to men is to be more like a woman. That doesn't work either.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, we're going to be here for a while. Oh my goodness. What? The Democrats, once again, kind of being real broad there, but okay, whatever. The Democrats are telling men they need to be like women. Well, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. Show me the proof. I need to see someone like an AOC. I need to see someone like Obama. I need to see someone like Bernie Sanders. Hell, give me Nancy Pelosi, anybody. Not some weirdo on TikTok. Okay, no, because I can find you some weirdos on the Republican side that will make you guys look weird, shameless, racist, like Nick Fuentes. Hey, there you go. But give me someone who's prominent in the Democratic Party, liberal or progressive, that said, you know what? You know what's going to fix America and our issues as a whole? Men need to become more like women. That is the answer. Men are too manly. We're walking around with our big muscle. We need to be more like women. Who said that? But let me guess, you pulled that out of your behind. You have no proof, no video, no articles where prominent Democratic leaders said such a thing. Once again, when did the Republican Party abandon facts and now are just in their feelings? Well, it feels like the Democratic Party. It feels like the Democratic Party are trying to tell men to become more like women. Well, I need to see the data on that. I need to read some articles on that. Because if that's the case, I will push back against that narrative with you. But until then, no, that's not how that works. At least not for me.
So we need to re-embrace the notion. I mean, I say jokingly, when Russian troops come pouring over the Ukrainian border, you want some of that big dick energy.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being physically strong. I think any man under the age of 30, our bone structure and that double twitch muscle with this amazing substance called testosterone poured over it is a fucking amazing thing. You're going to look back on your physique right now and your strength, and you're going to wish, and you kind of look this way, that you were a monster. Any man under the age of 30 should be able to walk into any room and know that if shit got real, they could either kill and eat everybody or outrun them.
Yeah.
And
Hey, once again, where the hell you getting this from? Because, hey, the last time I checked, I'm a man. I'm a full-grown man, and if I step in the room, to use your example, and was to hit the fan, hey, guess what? If I need to run, I'm going to run, but if I need to handle business, trust me, I got the hands and the tools to do so accordingly. Okay, so let's get that out the way. But muscles are not going to do that for you. And once again, I don't know who this guy is, but he is getting paid too much to do whatever he's doing, because muscles is not going to, in that room, to use your example, is not going to handle business. Because I know some smaller guys than me that could take a lot of people just in a random room. It's not physically being in shape, but it's mentally. You need to, one, be aware mentally if this is a room that you need to be even walking into. Hey, that takes a little observation, a little self-awareness. Second, if ish does hit the fan, do you need to run? Because sometimes, trust me, I've been in a lot of situations, especially when I was younger. There's a lot of situations, if you was to try to fight, you're going to die. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to be in the ground. So you need to be a little self-aware if you need to run compared to fighting. And second, if you do need to fight, you need to fight smart. Once again, I done seen the biggest guys get knocked down by guys the same size as me. Nothing special. 185, got a little muscle. So once again, this whole like, oh, you need to build your muscles and blah, blah, like, no, that's not it. You need to get this thing up here. Build this muscle up first before you start doing any bicep curls. You know what I'm saying? Doing any overhead flies, anything. Get your mind right. But hey, who am I? I'm just a random YouTuber.
And that is a wonderful feeling. It'll make you less prone to mental illness. It'll make you more attractive to mates, less likely to be depressed. And you'll be that guy that breaks up fights at bars, not that's insecure, right? This is strength, re-embracing protection, re-embracing, initiating relationships. I force my kids, I don't do this anymore because they've had enough of it, but when we left the house, I used to say, I'm not going to let them back in unless they talk to a stranger. Mm-hmm. And it was easy for one of them. Mm-hmm. It was.
I knew dude was a weirdo. Who is going to lock their kids outside of their house until they talk to one stranger? And then people like him then have the nerve to say guys are depressed. Guys have anxiety so much to where they take their own lives. They can't live the life that they want to live, but yet when my kids are growing up, I would lock the door and force them to talk to strangers. What planet are we living on that we're giving time to idiots like this here? And that kind of goes back to what I believe is kind of the main reason why guys are struggling the way that they are. Let me try to find this video here. Sure, I gotta go back. So my question is,
here are three.
Hold on. Before we get into this, this is the issue right here, at least in my opinion, on why guys are sitting here struggling with their identity and what to do with their lives. Because we have idiots like this here, and the idiot we just seen setting the bar so high for whatever reason. It's not a statistical reason. It's not a chemical reason. It's not a biology reason. It's just a man-made reason to set the bar so high to where when guys can't reach those standards, they feel less than a man. It has nothing to do with women. It has nothing to do with women's support groups. How stupid that sounds. It's men setting the bar so high for other men. So if they can't achieve what they have achieved, they feel less than a man. But no. If you don't believe me, let's listen to Abba and Preach. Kind of get into this situation here. Where are we at? 147? Let's listen.
We're not doing imagine the person sleazing and you're like, keep that in.
Yeah. The ugly, leave it inside you.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Here are some weird signs that you're an average man. Number one, no one ever talks about your looks. Guys, if you never hear how handsome you are, you're an average dude. Especially from women. If you don't hear how cute, attractive, good looking.
He said, especially from women. Well, so are you telling me I need guys' validation on how I look? Seems a little sus to me. But hey, I guess I'm just an average man.
Average dude. Especially from women. If you don't hear how cute, attractive, good looking you are, you're average, bro. Number two, your net worth is under 6 figures. Guys, you no longer can.
Under 6 figures? I don't think he knows what that is. I don't know if he knows where to place the commas. You know, the first set of 3 and then comma, then the next set of 3, then comma. I don't think he knows what that is. Because the average American is not making 6 figures. So once again, why is this random guy that we don't give 2 F's about is setting the standards for being a real man or not being an average man? Who died and gave this guy the authority to do so? Once again, that's not a woman telling you that, which it is some women, a little screws loosed in the head. But why is this man trying to set standards for another man? And if he can't achieve it, he's an average man.
Be a man, an able-bodied man in 2023 in the Western world and have under 6 figures. You're making under 6 figures. Women won't even take you seriously, bro. You're a regular dude.
Up until now, it was all just funny and jokes. This kind of thing, sorry. You people online just shut the fuck up about the real world. You don't know what you're talking about. Just I can already tell this goofball lives in Miami or one of those fucking metropolitan. This guy's drank the Kool-Aid. He's an idiot.
Hey, that's simple. And just to make sure that this video has substance, because that's what I always aim to do, there's actually support groups out there that's just for men. Just because it's not around your corner, which, I mean, I guess depending on where you live, doesn't mean that there isn't organizations or institutions that's out there to help men. Here's a few for you. Movember Foundation Group, Man Therapy, Heads Up Guys, Men's Sheds Association, and these are just a few that I Googled online. It was a simple Google search. You see how that works? You know, and all these organizations provides practical tips, support, and resources for men dealing with depression and their families and friends. Also guidance to address anxiety or anxiety and suicidal thoughts amongst men. Once again, the help is out there. But if people are continuing to blame politicians and Republicans and Democrats, no. Sometimes the people who's trying to hold you back, sometimes the people who are trying to make you feel less than a man are the men talking to you. That's simple. But once again, like I said, this is not my area of expertise. I'm just a man, and I had people that I looked up that were men in my life, in my family, and I took the good, out from the bad and tried to do the best that I can to become the man that I am today. That's simple. So once again, guys, if you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, let me know in the comments down below or hit that Discord button so me and you can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.